Today we're gonna rate every single card in the branded lore. I know I did a quick survey on my channel that 500 people responded to, saying, hey, we'd rather have the custom card video next. And this was actually third, but, this seemed like a good time, and I've had this thing up made for ages. The custom card video should come soon, but this is gonna be up first. So, rating every single card in the entirety of branded lore. Pain, agony, but this should not take too long because a lot of these are pretty simple. Let's start with Bussy Phallus 2. This is actually a bit of a debatable one because he is a good send off of, like, you know, punishment and things like that. But in terms of actually being a Tri-Brigade card, he's pretty terrible. So I'm just going to put him in the C tier because, like, yes, he has some benefits. You can send him as a essentially a 3500 that then sends Garura off of punishment. And with the Tri-Spell, he is a search for... He does, like, dump additional stuff. But then, basically, what he is with the new Tri-Spell is +1 Monster Engrave. Which is very disappointing for your brand new boss monster that all it functionally is a better punishment target and +1 Monster Engrave and Tri. Like, it really should do more than that. Branded Lost. This card is terrible. This card bounces a card to extra, and then each person can summon a Mirror Jade from the extra deck in the end phase. It's terrible, terrible. The only format this would be good in, it would be terrible in because your opponent would be benefiting from it. Expulsion. This card is very, very powerful, as it turns out. I thought it was bad when it was revealed, but no, this card's insane. And a disgusting floodgate tool enabler, and it's a pretty good side card this format with stuff like Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, which doesn't lose to Book of Eclipse, so look out for that. Springen's Blast. It's Surgical Imperm, or like Double Imperm, but it's just weaker than Call. I'd say, like, it's good, maybe like tier in terms of, like, but it's Springen, so like C tier. Regulus, this card is super, super, super crazy. Honestly, probably I said this is just a really, really powerful generic tool that sets up a negate in any machine deck. Really, really good. The new Sword Soul spell, I think, is just fine. I think it does some really nice stuff. No, actually, no, it's 8. This card's really, really good. So, it gives you access to anything you really want, and it does a variety of different things. I think this is just a really nice card that you're gonna want to use a lot, dumping stuff in the extra deck, usually. Sargus, this card is S tier. S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. This card is absolutely nutso. Absolutely nuts. Same vein, sort of, of Regulus, it's just this generic card that any 2 level 4s can make, and it searches Regulus, so... The Ice Shade stuff, this card is terrible. This card is one of the... Aurocassi is one of the worst cards in the entire lore. It just says, it's one effect per turn, equip this, and summon it, and it does nothing else. This card is terrible. Sprite Jet, very powerful card, search a spell trap, really, really insane, one of the best sprites. Ashian, funny, but just not good. He just doesn't do anything, really, does not do enough. Branded and Central Dogmatica. It's a continuous spell, and it buffs a monster's attack, or sends 1 from extra when you ritual. I don't know why they printed, like, this crucial moment from the lore on this card, because it does nothing. Nerval, insane card. One of the best tries. Just a Rhoda. And it's a 1-for-1 target, and it's a Lyrilless combo piece, like it's one of the main reasons the Lyria is so good. Very, very good. Very, very powerful card. Blackout. There's a reason Sword Soul searches this every game if they can. Icarus attack on searchability. Really, really strong, especially when you can use it on Changing, which then triggers Changing because it protects itself. Starter. E-Telly is broken, and we need to learn that at some point. Like... 3 E-Tellys. Retribution, just about B tier. This on-field effect is terrible. But the graveyard effect is really, really insane and a really good combo extender. Obviously, you don't want to draw it, and don't want it on field, which is why it's not insane. It's not like high tier, but like, it's a good card. Very good card that you do, of course, want to play. The new Ice Jade, level 7, that discards itself, basically it's long one. It's long one for water decks, makes any level 10 water synchro. Good card, really strong card. But water decks right now aren't particularly good, so... I don't know if Sword Soul plays this. I probably don't, because you have to discard a water, so yeah, they don't. So, yeah, water decks can use this, but, like, there's no good water decks right now that, like, couldn't care. Priskenian. Scandian would be in like C tier on its own, but because it can be summoned up Gwynol now, it's like B tier. Pretty standard, decent card. It was always okay before, but now that you can go into it all the time, it's pretty good into some matchups to just be able to banish a card or steal a monster from the graveyard, especially in the branded matchup. In the mirror, it's really insane. So when Lulu Lilith comes out, this will probably be worse because you don't really make it anymore, but it's still a pretty decent card right now. Branded lost. This card's broken. This card should be banned. Insane going first, insane going second. It's a board breaker. It is a searcher. It is a... This is... Everything that's unfair about Branded is in lost. This card is absolutely disgusting. Sprin, this card sucks. This card sucks. This card sucks. It is like... There's a reason this has only been printed in common. There's a reason this is the only one that's never really seen play in topping lists, and no one's really trying now. This card sucks. It's just Kid, but like Kid is a card that not even everyone runs. Mercuria, insane card. Honestly, it's on the verge of like S tier. I'd say A though. It's really powerful, but it does have to send itself to grave for cost, which is not great into a lot of decks. And it's only negates effect, so it can't be using damage step. It has to require the Albaz Dragon on field, which isn't necessarily the easiest thing. So it is fairly reasonable to play around. It's still pretty good though. It's definitely gotten better over time. Very strong card. Blazing Branded King, A tier. So this card basically just is a searchable Solemn Judgment for evenly matched. That's basically what you have to look at it as. Because, like, I'm siding Solemn Judgment now because evenly matched is so prevalent and so powerful against Branded. This is basically just negate any blowout. And you may think, oh, well, you negate your own board. But you don't really, because the board you're leaving up is stuff like Gwynol, Mirror Jade, and Rimbrum. Rimbrum has an effect in grave. Gwynol can use this effect in grave. You can choose either the Mirror Jade or Rimbrum to keep its effect alive. Lubellion doesn't have an effect on field during your opponent's turn. Like, this is only really negating, like, one of your cards at most, and it doesn't really impact you, whereas it's just stopping a blowout, and it's a searchable, essentially, Solomon that way. And it can also just be used to negate at any point in your opponent's combo if they don't have a blowout, which can be really substantial. Yeah, this card's really good. Nadir Servant. It is Foolish plus Rhoda. It's good. Good, there's a reason this was semied. Was it limited and then semied, or just semied? I think it was just semied. I don't remember. Moe. Vulnerable to Interruption. Kind of like Albaz, but yeah. Well, this is just like one of the best normal summons in the lore. Crazy card. Just instant level 8 synchro. Okay, Springins again. Rocky. It's just kind of mid. He's not as good as Brothers. He does combo well with Brothers, but that's about it. Water decks can maybe use it, but yeah, this card's not good. I'll go. You play this in like Pure, right? But Pure Therian isn't really a thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is. I'll move it if I'm wrong. In a very midday, and you're not going to end up playing it in a package in other decks because you don't have space to just like play a discard. Essentially, what's an Allure of Darkness. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm sure it's good in Therian, but and what Therian is used for, not really. Nexus, terrible card, way too difficult to summon, but very cool. Carrot, very good card. Just a negate, good emblem piece, very solid. Watch. This is one of the best Springing cards. It is a Rota plus Soul. It is a Rota plus Terraforming plus a Foolish. Really good. Gwynol S tier. This makes fusion deployment live. It sends any of the things you would want in grave, summons the new Synchro from extra deck, summons Gwynol from extra deck, summons Prescenium from extra rather, summons Kratos from extra deck. Later can like summon Quem, that's then another Foolish and a setup. Like, it's good in Dogmatica, it's good in generic decks that just play Punishment, because you can send it and then summon Lulu or Lilith, which is just a generic negate. This card's insane. This card's absolutely insane. One of the best fusion monsters in the past few years. Like, this card is absolutely nuts. Interluder. This card is doo-doo. It has to return a Springin to negate an effect. Like, and it has to return an XE. Like, Albion, very solid beta card. Refreshes your hand, dumps some of the stuff. Really nice combo extender. Really good target off of Lost, but doesn't do a huge amount. It's just a small little extender. You could live without it, and it doesn't really kill the deck to remove it. It doesn't really change your combo lines to remove it. It's just kind of nice to have. Tri-Brigade Standoff. Yeah, Bucephalus is not going to make us play this. Perigite. Insane. Special hand, just make a link 3. I think it's actually more 80th, like, but yeah, this is really good. Really good. Jet. This card is banned for a reason. Banned for a reason. This card was gonna get banned eventually anyway. I'm surprised it did so quickly. But yeah, this card should not have been printed. It's just unfair, and it just ruins the design of Link 2s for the rest of the game after it's printed. So it's a good thing they got rid of it. Dissipated. This card's pretty good. I don't know how good. But I think it is pretty good. It's pretty good in Synchro decks. I think it's worse with... I think it's worse without Chaos Ruler in the format. Like, they're playing this in Oshi right now, but it's a Chaos Ruler deck where you then can combo very easily with the Soul Synchron to make a level 10 Synchro. So it's not really as easy to abuse this. I don't know if Branded will end up playing this, so this could go up in terms of power level after Syac, but I don't really think it's going to see that much play outside of stuff like Dragon Link. Tremora. This is Tinola. I'll be honest, the Ice are just generally like bad. They're all like -1s to summon stuff. Like, all the Ice are just kind of generally pretty low power level. Dogmatic a terrible card. Summon an Albaz from grave, I think it is. Like, summon Dogma from grave, terrible. Sargus. Solid card. Very solid party combo. Yeah, triggers champion as part of the end board. Very good. Very solid card. Chunjun. King Chunjun. High Spirits. Now, this is a controversial take. It's an okay card. It's decent. I don't think it's worth playing. It requires so much investment. It requires you to completely build your deck around it. And I think it's way too vulnerable to bad hands. It doesn't plus you. It requires a lot of setup and it changes your combo lines. Right now you'd have to open like a Saronir, and you don't want to discard your Bestials to use this. Like, I don't think it's worth it. I can get why people are playing it, and it did see play briefly in tier to search Cartesia to make Baron. But that was more of just like Cartesia being a tuner that made it good. Like, card itself was just, it searched Cartesia. I think if they had any other way of searching Cartesia, they would have done that. It wasn't because High Spirit was good. Dogma Calamity. Solid card for Dogma. It's just send from extra, which is usually going to be sending... Now it can send in level 12, such as Lulu or Lilith, to make the level 12 Ritual, which is really good. It can send an 8, and there's a lot of good 8s, and it can send stuff like Arclight to summon the level 4 Ritual, and Arclight just gives you a search, so a very solid card. Sovereign. I think Sovereign is terrible. Lubellion. This card's crazy. This is one of the strongest dragons they've printed in a long time. Yeah, it's one of the strongest dragons in the game, I would argue, in terms of the main deck. Not like top 10, but like top 20, top 50, top 30, something like that. He's really insane. For Chaos decks, he's insane, but Branded, obviously. He does 3 powerful things, all separately from each other. Like, so good. His only drawback is that he can't be activated under macro effects, which I guess is a balancing thing. It's very annoying, but yeah, this card's insane. Absolutely sick. One of my favorite cards, I think, at this point. He just does so much for Branded, enabled so much, and he's just a really cool looking guy. Beast. This card is the only back removal that Branded has. It's very easily set up, and it triggers your effects. It can get stuff back from grave, very very powerful. But it's continuous, which should be good, but it means it's very very vulnerable to interruption, which means it isn't quite the best. Aiden is not... Yeah, Aiden is not a good card. Cosmic Law. It sets up your floodgate, and that's all it does, really. It's a floodgate. It's just worse Mystic Mine. Like, and it requires your entire turn setup, and it gets added by any back removal. Yeah, she's fine. Magnamart. Cards should be limited at the very least. I cannot believe they printed a card that says search any dragon in the game, and is also a hand trap. Absolutely nuts. Gigantic Thundercross. Terrible. Absolutely terrible card. Even in like a limited format, this benefits your opponent. Such a terrible card. Regained. Solid card. People are starting to like cut it now a bit because it's a bit doesn't do anything by itself. It's a bit bricky. But very very solid card. Gives you some advantage. Nice and grind. I think in very grind heavy format is very very nice. It's just that searching Lost right now is probably the best thing you can be doing. Lenesis. Solid card, actually. I would have put this lower before, but this is actually now a combo extender. Because you can use Fusion Deployment to get Albaz, and then you can, like, quick contact fuse away Albaz and, like, a Bestial, which then can trigger the Bestial, like if it's Saranir. So you can actually set up stuff. You contribute this to summon Libellium, which then you get a Search in the end phase. So this is actually seeing play, and it Surge's Fusion Deployment, which obviously makes it a lot better to send with something like Mirror Jade. So, yeah, very, very solid card now. Disciple. They still haven't fixed the text of this card on DB. That's how, like, unplayed it is. It still has the the misprint text from its original printing. Brigand. Decent card. You're never fusing it, but it's a good searcher. I personally don't play it. I think it's fine. I honestly put it in C. It's like, it doesn't, you never want to summon it. You only want the Grave Effect, and the Grave Effect is, like, fine. Branded in white. Similar thing. I know people are using this as a combo extender, but I think it doesn't do enough by itself, and it requires you to build your deck around it to an extent. Yes, is it helpful when you get it? Sure. But I think it's more vulnerable to interruption, and it also just, it doesn't enable anything you couldn't do anyway. It just lets you do a different line, which some people prefer to the baseline. Dogmatic Tricks. This is double Rota. Plus send a card from extra grave. Tragedy. Solid card. Very, very powerful card. I know you only played a 1 now, which is like, oh, how can a 1 of what used to be a 3 or be a 8? Well, this is crazy. Adds Adlib, or you can just banish it from grave, and this is what you use it for now, is you banish from grave to just set anything from grave, which you're going to be dumping all the time very easily anyway. Very, very good card. Opening. It's E-Telly that triggers effects. They're Loction Infusions, who cares, it's E-Telly. Ashen. Damn, it gains attack points. This card is fine. You're never making this off Fusion. You can send Ra's Disciple and make... Set up Ra's Disciple, like, it's not easy, it's not hard to out, you're not making your normal end board if you're doing that. It's much better to end on a bunch of interruption than a card that loses to stuff people are maining right now. Especially when normal summon decks are still in the format. Adrian, probably the best Ice Jade. Really good. It's a Rota. Stratos, rather. And it just does stuff. Yeah. Just probably... There's not much to say about Ice Jades. They just don't do anything. So, there you go. White Knight. Solid card. It's a level 8 that lets you dump stuff like Titaniclad. It lets you dump a few other things. But that's about it. Yeah, it can send a card from your extra on your opponents. Nice. If you get to combo off, but it doesn't really do much by itself. It's just fine. Just fine. Honestly, I'd probably put it in C. Revolt. Yeah, Revolt's a good card. Who's surprised? Titaniclad, very powerful card in Dogma, and was played in Brandon for a while. Some lists still play it. It's just a very strong card in some formats. If there's like towers and stuff in the format, it's good to play. So you will sometimes see it in Brandon lists in some formats, and it's just a really good card in Dogma. Turgy. Yeah, the trap ritual summoning, you just don't need it. Gamma Burst, it is fine. Some lists played it, but not really anymore. It's just an attack boost. It's a helpful ATK tool, it's fine. Stand Up, I'm pretty sure no one plays this. Mirror Jade, obviously an S-tier card. Don't need to explain Mirror Jade. Rad Fusion, obviously an S-tier card. Don't need to explain it. Bestial Alba, fine. Maybe if Dragon Link is an S-tier, tier 1 deck at some point, it'll be played. But that's the only situation you'd ever play this card, which is a shame because that's fantastic artwork. Kit. She's fine. She's fine, she's fine. She's good. I think the minus is just not enough. Yes, she gives you some different lines. It still doesn't expand your endboard. You're not increasing your ceiling. Yes, she can change your consistency, but she's a minus. She requires setup. She's not as good as your other starters. I just don't like her. Etude. I don't know about this card. I'm gonna put it in C for now because I'm not confident that macro effect is very good, and I don't really think that playing this over Beast is worth it to get the quick synchro. I think setting up the quick synchro is hard enough. I don't think this is going to be worth it, but some people are laughing and saying it's good, so I don't know. Wham is broken. This is a Despia and a Dogma, so you can play in both decks. It sends any card that searches Albaz, and specials a card that searches Albaz from grave. Insane. Absolutely nuts card. Absolutely crazy card. This is a Gwynol target, it's a branded opening target, it is a Titaniclad target, it's a Nadir Servant target. This is one of the most, I think it's the most searchable card in the lore, because it mentions Albaz, it's a Despia, and it's a Dogmatica. So, and it's a spellcaster that's attack and turn equal, so it's like 4 different criteria in the lore can search it. Nuts. Nuts card, and it just does crazy stuff. Ebram. Apple card. Searches Revolt. Summons from hand. Or graveyard, rather. Yeah, good card. Long one. Very solid. Good end board piece. Banishes stuff. Good interaction. Merrymaker. Solid card that makes Sargus. And that's about it. It makes Sargus, so that's why it's good. Relic. About as good as White Knight. The only reason these two are good is because they're summoned by the Dogmatic Ritual spells that don't actually do that much on their own. Empress. I am pretty sure you don't play this. I think it's just on, like... It's just way too much investment, like a regular, I'm pretty sure. And it's Reptile support, and Reptile decks are pretty bad. Pixies. Not a bad card. Like Gamma Burst. You could play it, but you don't. Karis. Powerful card. The tries are all pretty powerful. Airborne Assault. It is fine. You could use it to some success. That's about it. Rinbrum. I think that at least right now, Rinbrum is a stronger card than Mirror Jade. Bounce, negate, summon itself from grave, it plays through interruption better, doesn't get hit by Impermal Baylor on like your Albion or Rebellion, because you don't need to make Albion Rebellion. This card's terrible, the Sword Soul Dragon, it's a level 8 that has to have a card banished to summon itself, and then you can't use it for any synchro stuff because it's level 8, and its on-field effect is pop a field spell. So, I don't know why they printed this. Albaz, solid card. Good end board, good final boss for Dogma. Solid card. Not good now because Branded's good, but when Branded isn't in the format, for whatever reason, more playable because it just dumps 7 cards from its extra deck. Rugal. Decent card. Erosion. It is a negate. Yes. In Ice Jade. Lilith. Crazy. Summon in Dogma. Summon in a ritual deck. Summon in Branded. It's a negate when a card leaves the extra, which is the most dumb trigger requirement I've read in a while. It's just so easy to trigger. Crazy card. Organic Sprite. This card probably shouldn't have been printed. Probably shouldn't have been printed. Just search anything. Or it's an Ice Jade. Ecclesia. E-Telly plus Special Assault from hand. Sidra plus E-Telly. Plays through Interruption, plays through Baylor and everything. Really, really good. Cradle. It is a Rhoda. Hit. It's a Tri-Brigade monster. Emergence. It is a Rhoda. Taie. It's a Sword Soul monster. It just free level 8 synchro. Genesis. Bad. Boundless World. It'd be worth thinking about if it had any way of being searched, but there's no way of searching this card, so it's not worth it. Spring and Pidor. Bit weaker than Rocky and Brothers, but still okay. It's pretty mid. Yule. Psychic support, and you're just not playing this. Charge. Draw, and that's about it. Sirenair. Really powerful in Branded specifically, some Dragon Link use. But yeah, this card's really crazy. Combo extender. Sends whatever you need, sends Rebellion rather, sends any of the spell traps. Really powerful card. The best Bestial in Branded. Everywhere else, not as good. Ecclesia. It's Ecclesia. Branded Inevitable. It's just not as good as all your other Branded spell traps. You're never searching it. If you didn't have the same one, well, the deck wouldn't be as good, but you'd maybe search this because it's pretty decent. But it's just not good enough. This is for real life. A lot of these cards aren't in Master Duel. Golgonda! This is one of the best cards in Springans. It is your field spell. Discards, cheat stuff out. Really, really good. The other Dogma Ritual spell, not as good as Calamity because it banishes from grave, but still good, and you have to play it because it's a Dogma Ritual spell. Branded Bond, summon an Albaz from grave. Yes, this is an Albaz Latil. Iris Sword Soul. She's just... Level 8 in Sword Soul is already just a bad thing, because you just can't make any good syncers with it, but just requiring the monster that's already negated, she's good. Like, she reads as strong. That's what's crazy. She just reads as a strong card, and I think one day she will be playable. But right now, I don't think she is. Exabloa. Be better if it was a quick effect. I don't know what card this is. Oh, some of these images haven't loaded. So I'll have to figure out what we're missing on here. Dogmanation. Damn, attack reduction. Druisworm. Crazy card. And actually one of the most broken cards to ever put in a sealed format on the same scale as something like Redoer or Omega. Another Ice Jade thing is... Yeah, you have to play it, but it's... Screams. Terrible card. Brothers. Great card to discard. Go bring him. Exile. Or Banishment. Very, very strong card. Not great in a Bestial heavy format, but in a less Bestial heavy format, really, really good card. It's super poly plus Revive from grave. On a trap card. On your opponent's. It's really, really sick. Really insane card. Double Cross. Obviously, this card is crazy. It is a trap that is Change Apart or Monster Reborn. Just dumb. Or Exceeds Import. Albaz. He's fine. He can fuse, which is sometimes useful, actually, as it turns out. And he's obviously a required material. Masquerade. He's fine. People are coping on how insane he is right now. Even, like, Pac was saying that, it's 2 of, and, like, you can end on 2 of them, and it's like, I just don't think that's worth it. He's fine. He's a good endboard piece if you need to burn in time, and he's, sometimes you just need a monster to go into that requires a Despia plus a Light or Dark off of your fusion effect. Sometimes you just don't have anything else you can make, so yeah, he's fine. Alblost. Yes, let me block my fusion effects in a deck that plays fusion monsters. Zhao. Searches, plus negates. Yeah, powerful boss. Look, negate. Go on a decisive battle. It's Iron Dash as a spell. Crazy. Lubellion. Solid. Eater. Fusion. Shovels it back. It does have to discard. It's fine. You got. Cradle. It's the field spell. Yeah. It's good. Sprint. This card should not have been printed. Foolish Chain level 2. Bounce a card. Dumb. Why did they print these cards? Light. Terrible. Terrible card. Baldrake. Like the other Bestials, it just goes in A tier. Bestials roll insane.
Going to shit.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah, Bestials roll insane, and this card's very, very powerful on the same tier, sort of, as Jerusalem. I think Jerusalem is better in, like, more limited formats and in grinds, but Baldrake's really, really powerful. This is a good card. It is Search. Or Rhoda plus a like really good. Booty. This is a Terraforming with a situational bonus effect. Good card. Therian Irregular. 3 Therians to summon a bad card. Red, it's a negate. Very good. Blue. It is Rhoda plus specialist level 3. Very, very good. Assessment, terrible. Tri-Brigade Last Stand, terrible. These cards just do nothing. They just do not do anything. Persepolis is on the list. We put it down here in C-tier. Another Therian Trap. Just doesn't do enough. Ad-lib. Less crazy now, but still a very, very powerful card for Grey Extension and stuff. Honestly, it's starting to drop in terms of power level. It's rested about B. It was very reliant. Sword. It's an okay card. We played it briefly. But it doesn't really do enough now. There's just way too many good spells and traps to play this one. Branded in red. Utterly insane card. A bit weaker in form with a lot of Bestials and Decors and stuff, but insane card. I love this design. It's one of my favorite fusion spells in general. Just really, really sick design. Really cool way of doing it. lot of ways to play around a various interruption. A lot of ways to do stuff on your opponent's turn. A lot of combo lines it enables. Really, really, really. Punishment. Crazy card. Very good. Very good. We all know the white punishment is good. It's been around for 2 years. Golden Sword Soul. This... Damn, they really do special summon themselves when a monster declares an attack. Another Ice Jade. They just... These all go -1 to do nothing. Springin's Call. A Revives Fallen on your opponent's turn. Decent. It gives you a Mirror Jade, which is pretty funny. Franga. Great card if you have Graveyard setup, and pretty easy to set up, honestly. Really, really strong. This Therian is like one of the only good player ones, Lily. Because I played in Plants briefly, I think. I don't know if they still play it now, but it was a solid card. Ice Shade Curse. It's a floodgate that requires your opponent to not ever interact with you. Like, yes, as you saw today if you were watching the stream, that yes, you can set this up sometimes, but it was so easy to out. Like you have to draw a very specific hand of 3 cards, specifically this, the field spell, and access to Cosmic Claw. You have to get all of those to do anything. If any of those get interrupted, it's not going to do anything. Like, 3-card Mystic Mind just isn't good. Iron Bull. It specials by equipping a warrior. I could see this being used at some point, but not right now. This Colosseum. It is a Rotor on a field spell. Damn, that's crazy. Oath. This was briefly played, so it's actually decent. I could see it being played again. The Ice Shade Synchro. Strong card. Adrian, I think it is. Very good card. Actually, one of the... Probably the best Ice Shade card, because you don't have to play it in Ice Shade. Crazy that, but pretty good against banished decks, and it does do a decent amount of interaction. Fractal. It's a Tri-Brigade monster. Romanticism. It's an equip spell that, like, gains attack. Terrible. Albion. One of the best Albaz dragons. Best target to send off of all the foolish effects. Fusion summons by banishing. Crazy. Crazy card. Crazy. Comedy. Honestly, solid card. You played it for a while. It's dropped by the wayside now. But it dodges Imperm and Veiler. If those became really prevalent, I think you would actually play it again. Because it's very, very searchable, very easy to set up. But right now, it's just not good. Smashes. Damn, is that a quick play banish any card your opponent controls non-targeting? That's crazy. Try Dive. Yeah, this is just no good. Talio Springans, though. Talio Springans is absolutely nuts. It's literally Soul Charge plus Rotor. Don't know. They just give this shit to anything now. Long one. Crazy card makes a Baron. Judgment, terrible. Pop stuff if you have a fusion with 2500, just not good. Reborn, that some decks play, it's actually good. Cartesia. Crazy. Cartesia's crazy. Again, one of the best fusion effects. Like a red, really, really insane. Let you play through a lot of interruptions. Quick effect, can set up on your opponent's turn. Summon itself, great combo extender. Very, very searchable, and return itself to hand in the end phase. Crazy card. Maximus, solid card, just not in this format. Chenging, very powerful boss. Yeah, I'll put him in S tier. Very, very powerful boss. No, we'll put him in A tier. Because he doesn't... No, we'll put Chenging in S tier. Chenging's crazy. Really, 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 really strong card. Rendezvous, bad. Theo, bad. Strife, bad. Dramaturgy is like B tier. Dramaturgy is good. Not as good as Adlib, but good. Summon himself. I think in some formats you could play him, and people are swapping him around and thinking like, oh, is this better than Adlib right now? Because Adlib is not really triggering that often, whereas Dramaturge is an additional body on field. Whereas Adlib doesn't have that much you can revive on turn 1 anymore. But I think Adlib still edges him out. He's still a very, very solid card. Yeah. Theater. Just... It's fine. Just don't play this card. Shure, crazy card. Okay. There were like 4 cards that didn't load. So let's find out what those are. I should have a note. Alba Tragedy Comedy. Oh, we didn't do Alba. Albaz didn't come up. Okay, so I'll edit this in post, I guess. For some reason Albaz image didn't load, so we'll just throw him up here. Albaz goes in the S tier. Card is crazy. Absolutely nuts. Very, very powerful. Incredibly searchable. Rhoda. Really good. We love Albaz in this house. Queritus. Queritus did not come up. Queritus is a solid card. I'm annoyed that the brand cards haven't come up here. Queritus is just like, yeah, around here. Good card. Easy material, decent interruption. The summon from deck is actually pretty good and has always been pretty solid. Summonable off of Granola now, which makes him better. Good card. What have I missed off here? There's a card I've missed. If you can't remember it, it wasn't important. Honestly, let's just put all the Bestials in S tier. Like, I actually don't think so. I think we're gonna move Skarlon down to B. Yep, this is... There you go. This is every single branded lore card in a handy-dandy tier list. I think this is flawless and perfect with no errors whatsoever. If you disagree with me on any single one of these cards, you are wrong. So there you have it. There is definitive list. And honestly, really well spread out. Yes, obviously there's more bad cards than any other category. There's always going to be that. But it's really well spread out throughout the different things. There's just a good spread of powerful cards throughout this lore. And this lore was really, really successful. And I hope the next one, whatever it is, in Duelist Nexus is as well. I hope it isn't just more Visas lore, because I find that boring as hell. Thank you guys for going by, and yeah, custom card videos and other stuff coming up. Do join me. Yeah, like and subscribe and all that. Make sure to subscribe. I need it. It helps. It really does. It genuinely does. I know people say in all of this, oh, it really helps me. It really helps, and it always feels cheesy. It genuinely does. Please do. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening. Or whatever time of day it is for you.